Welcome to our series about Fort Donelson National Battlefield located in Dover, Tennessee. Today we will be at Battlefield Stop Number 5, Smith's Attack. Seeing an opportunity to break the Confederate line, Grant ordered Smith to attack the Confederate forces on the ridge. This was successful, and Smith held the ridge until the surrender of Buckner. All aboard the Kentucky-Tennessee Living Time Machine. Please fasten your seatbelts and keep your arms and legs inside of the vehicle at all times. But to get going, we need your help. We still need to fire up that time machine to transport us to the Fort Donelson National Battlefield. Please help us by clicking on the like, subscribe, and bell notification buttons down below. Not only does this fire up the time machine, but it convinces the YouTube algorithm that we need a bigger time machine to reach more people who love history as much as you do. Now, back to our story. From the Fort Donelson Today, a guide to the park. Quote, Smith's attack. On February 15th, Grant correctly concluded that for the Confederates to hit so hard on the right, they must have weakened their lines somewhere else. Seizing the initiative, he told General Smith to, quote, take Fort Donelson, unquote. Smith had his troops remove the firing caps from their guns so the men would not be tempted to stop and fire, risking greater casualties and fixed bayonets. With the 2nd Iowa Infantry spearheading the attack, Smith led the assault against the Confederate lines on this ridge. Smith's division captured and controlled the earthworks here during the night. Before the attack could be renewed the next morning, Grant and Buckner were already discussing terms for surrender, unquote.
United States of America troops, Brigadier General Charles F. Smith's division, Colonel Jacob G. Longman's brigade, 2nd Iowa, Colonel James M. Tuttle, 7th Iowa, Lieutenant Colonel James C. Parrott, 14th Iowa, Colonel William T. Shaw, 16th Missouri, Lieutenant Colonel Benjamin S. Compton, 25th Indiana, Colonel James G. Veach. On February 15, 1862, at about 2 p.m., this brigade received orders to assault the extreme right of the Confederate position. The 2nd Iowa led the attack and was closely followed by the 52nd Indiana. Temporarily attached to this brigade, the 25th Indiana, 7th, and 14th Iowa regiments were in support. The 16th Missouri deployed as skirmishers on the right and left of the line, covered the flanks during the attack. Crossing the ravine, the left wing of the 2nd Iowa advanced steadily up the opposite hill and reached these rifle pits without firing a shot. On reaching the works, the regiment found the small Confederate garrison in retreat. It opened fire upon the retreating foe and awaited the arrival of the right wing, whereupon the regiment followed in hot pursuit. In the meantime, the Confederates received reinforcements and counterattacked to recover the lost position. Failing in this, they were content to retain possession of the ridge about 400 yards east of and overlooking these trenches, which remained in Federal hands. Seizing the initiative. Come on, you volunteers. You volunteered to be killed for love of country, and now you can be. Brigadier General Charles F. Smith. This is a drawing of the 2nd Iowa Regiment of Longman's Brigade. Leads the attack against Buckner's troops on the afternoon of February the 15th. Confederate breakout attempt, Confederate outer works, Buckner. You are here. Union Camp, C.F. Smith, Fort Donelson. When the Confederates attacked the Union right flank with such force on February 15th in an attempt to open an escape route, Grant concluded that they must have weakened their lines somewhere else. Seizing the initiative, he ordered General Charles F. Smith to attack the far right flank of the Southern lines with his whole division and take Fort Donelson, with Colonel Jacob G. Longman's brigade spearheading the attack. Smith led the assault and captured this ridge. Retreating through the ravine behind you, Confederate forces joined Buckner's forces returning from the breakout area and managed to hold the next ridge. By nightfall, Smith's division had captured and held the earthworks controlling this position. Before the attack could be renewed the next morning, Grant and Buckner were already discussing terms for surrender. Brigadier General Simon F. Buckner, as I said earlier, that is actually called the first national flag, and that is the actual flag of the Confederate States of America. It's not the stars and bars battle flag of General Lee. During a contest of more than 2 hours, the enemy made repeated attempts to storm my line, but artillery and musketry fire repelled the attempts and finally drove him to seek shelter behind the works he had taken and the irregularities in the ground. Brigadier General Simon F. Buckner. Battlefield timeline. The 12th, Union arrives at Fort Donelson. 13th, Union attacks Manny's Battery. 14th, Union gunboats attack Fort Donelson. 15th, Confederate breakout begins. And we are here between the 15th and the 16th. The 16th, the Confederates surrendered. And that's the battle timeline from February of 1862.
Confederate States of America, Brigadier General Simon B. Buckner, Division, Jackson's Virginia Battery. This battery of 4 pieces occupied this position on the night of February 13th, 1862. On February 15th, it proceeded with a division to the left of the entrenchments, where it participated in the attack against the Federal line. Thank you. We at Kentucky Tennessee Living would like to thank you for watching our visit to Fort Donelson. Don't forget to hit that like button, as the more likes we receive, the more likely YouTube is to suggest our videos to other viewers. Also, to receive notice when we upload a new video, be sure to subscribe and click the bell notification button. We thank you for continuing to support Kentucky Tennessee Living as we are discovering the mysteries in Civil War history.